sullen air whispers of my plans for you tonight. But sweet princess, we're gonna take a drive. I got an axe in the back, love to seek, but don't you mind. Just take my hand, please understand that it's gonna be alright. Look at the blade, look into my eyes. I'm gonna love you, my dying bride. Look at the blade, look into my eyes. I'm gonna love you, my dying bride. I really do care for you. Oh yeah, there's something deep inside that fights against the nature of the bloodlust I hide. But in this force of nature, I hear the pulsing in my brain. Although my heart harbors love songs, they are crippled and insane. Look at the blade, look into my eyes. I'm gonna love you, my dying bride. Look at the blade, look into my eyes. I'm gonna love you, my dying bride. Put your lips against mine, hear the play in our song, yeah. Just turn around, take my hand, and I swear it won't take long. One day I will join you when this illness soon subsides, and I love you with the heart that was shadowed by my mind. Look at the blade, look into my eyes. I'm gonna love you, my dying bride. Look at the blade, look into my eyes. I'm gonna love you, my dying bride. Hello. We're sideways today. I figured out how to turn the iPad around. Panorama for episode 7. Look at this. Panorama. I can do some Tai Chi for you guys. Wave hands like clouds. That's right. Just waving on through this panorama. Happy Monday, everybody. How are you out there in Instagram friend world? Hello, Brazil. You want to stick around, Brazil? We're going to be talking about Brazil later. Ooh, Tiger here's episode 7 starting. Come on in. She knows. Clockwork. Come on up. You want to say hello? Say hello to the people. Come on up. She's a star, man. She knows when the camera's on. Oh man, nice to see you guys. Oh no, we have an incongruency with the panorama. I just realized all the comments are sideways too. That's all right. I'm a lefty, so I write sideways anyway, so I can read sideways for a night. I'll be good. Yeah, do you guys hear her? Do you guys hear? Where's the camera? Oh, hey. Do you guys hear her? She's very catty tonight. So that was My Dying Bride. One of the first songs I wrote for Blitzkid, not the first, but one of the first. I wrote it at work when I was a telemarketer. I was one of those guys. But I lived in Bluefield, West Virginia, and if you didn't want to go down into the coal mines, which I'm not afraid of hard work, I just don't. I've seen what it does to families and to people. Then you work at telemarketing operations. And that's what I did. I called on behalf of the California Organization of Police and Sheriffs. Now, just to give you guys a little inkling as to what my job description and requirements were, I was to call and read a script trying to raise money for the police organizations of California. Why, I don't know, because I'm sitting in West Virginia, all right? But I still have the script memorized, okay? I would call and I'd say, hello? And they'd say, hello? Who is this? And here's the thing that they would tell you. They wouldn't come right out and tell you, and when I mean they, I mean my bosses. They wouldn't say, sound like an officer of the law, but they would say, sound like an officer of the law. So your whole goal was to intimidate people, which was shitty, but you got to make a living, right? And the impetus for me getting this job was I got a speeding ticket, a really, really nasty one that was not going to be able to be relieved by my Dairy Queen job income, because that's what I was doing. That's right. I worked at Dairy Queen. Yeah, I was a soda jerk. But anyway, back to telemarketing. They would say, kind of sound like a cop, but don't sound like a cop. So people would be like, who is this? And I'd be like, this is Steve Matthews. I'm calling on behalf of the California Organization of Police and Sheriffs. How are you doing today, Bob? And they'd be like, oh, shit. Hey, how's it going, Mr. Matthews? And I'd be like, all right, Mr. Bob, this is what we're doing today. We're calling on behalf of the California Organization of Police and Sheriffs. We're trying to raise money today. I actually did forget a little bit of it. But long story short, our whole goal was to get people to donate $5 to $10 to $15 to $25. That was the big gold standard. And in return, we would send out these little decals. And this is what we would say. We'd be like, we'll be sending you out the decals just to let the sheriffs know that you helped out this year. So that's what my job was, is to sell people decals under the pretense that they may get out of speeding tickets, like myself, which did not happen. That leads me to something else, and we'll have to bring TB on for this, because TB, I'm going to throw this out there, all right? Let's just jump ahead. Tracy Bird, TB Monstrosity, cannot work ever again as a telemarketer in the United States because of some of the practices that he engaged in when we were both working there. But he got a job there too. And he'll have to tell you all about why the FCC prohibits TB Monstrosity from ever working as a telemarketer ever again. Like, I am so proud of him. All right. But my dying bride, we had these little sheets that we would have to keep a tally on of like all the things that we sold that day or all the sales. And since I never had any, I would just write songs. And My Dying Bride was one of those songs that I wrote at work at CDG. CDG, short and an acronym for Civic Development Group, because that's what we were doing. We were developing the civic activities of whatever groups we were working for. Yeah. And he'll have to tell you about our boss, a guy named Leo Des Marlowe. Now, this dude looked like Ving Rhames, okay, and Al Roker. He's kind of like in the middle of those two body types. But he had ice green eyes and Celtic tattoos all over his arms when he rolled his shirt sleeves up. And he would not let me and Tracy sit together to save our lives. But whenever he wasn't there, we would buddy up and we would talk about band stuff, all that good stuff. And one of our first shows as Blitzkid, okay, once we had our like catalog in place, was at this telemarketing firm, at CDG. We played in the middle of the cubicles. It was like office space. Like they were passing cake, like an office space. There were staplers and, you know, the inspirational things on the wall, like, give it your all. And we were playing Slaughter at the Sock Hop. So, and we also had a song called Kilophonic at that time, which was about calling someone and threatening to kill them, which we thought was just poetic justice for where we were at. So we were like, yeah, we're going to play that song. Yeah, we got in a lot of trouble, he and I. Needless to say, he got fired, and then I just slowly went the way of the buffalo. But I did get the speeding ticket paid off, which is good. So that's the story of my dying bride. One more thing, though, before I move on, because we have a very special guest tonight, and it's getting late in Germany. I'm sorry, Gozer. I'm sorry. People often wonder where Goolsby came from. I think someone asked me this, like Argyle, Goolsby. And if you go back on YouTube, these are up on YouTube now. Watch a couple of episodes ago, I forget which. I was talking about, someone had asked how I got my name. Well, originally I was listening to The Real Thing by Faith No More on a religious basis. So, you know, it was more or less stuck in my cassette player, in my 1987 Chevrolet Celebrity. And there's a song on there called Zombie Eaters, which is an amazing song. So when we got to naming each other in the band, our pseudonyms, if you will, our Batmen to our Bruce Waynes, TB was like, let's call you Zombie Eater. And I was like, all right, why not? And then I called a guy with the last name Goolsby at this job. So this job is so responsible for so many, like, threads of inspiration in Blitzkid land. Like, really, man. Like, hats off to CDG. They eventually got shut down for improper practices. And, yeah, I'm not surprised. Like, they closed up shop and left. And I don't even think they're a company anymore. Anyway. Faith No More on a religious basis is ironic. Right, it is. Touche. Touche, Jackie XXX. But I love conundrums. Surprise, surprise. Another great song on that album, Surprise You're Dead, which we came that close to covering in Blitzkid, but we couldn't figure out how to do it. Zombie Eaters, yeah, man. 1476, my first band. No, you're missing about a decade, but it was a fun band. Don't get me wrong. It's quality, not quantity. Very short amount of time, but a lot of fun. Yeah, Eric Blair says, I'm sorry, Eric, I gave away your handle. Moonrock Collective says I picked a better name for sure. Yeah, you know, it was tongue-in-cheek. It was one of those things like, you know, we kind of realized we were going to be a horror rock band. And I didn't really want to be Zombie Eater because it was just like hitting people on the head with it, right? Because we knew we didn't really just want to be like, we're, you know, monster guy, Dr. Evil Face. Like, we didn't want to like go that route because we were still kind of like SoCal punk, you know, strung out, face to face, all that stuff. So I felt like Goolsby it's a real name, but, you know, it has some connotations, you know, Goolsby. TB went for TB Monstrosity, so, but, you know, I felt like that was always more of like a wrestling thing. Like, I always envisioned him like Ultimate Warrior coming in to a show. Yeah. Surprise You Dead is a great song. Should cover it now. I don't know if I can handle that on an acoustic guitar. Got Fabian in here, all the way from Brazil by way of Dublin. My cat's trying to cover its food up right now. Hold on a second. There you go. Black metal, Zombie Eater would be good. Yeah, exactly. That would work. TB Casualty. And so I said that we didn't really want to have any crazy names, but what we did do is our drummer, he was just so much fun, man. This guy named Shannon Stewart. And he was the way that TB and I had met. And if you go back and watch a few episodes, then you'll know I met him at like a church event. No shit, man. I met him at like a vacation Bible school sort of thing that I went with somebody because I was like, all right, I'll go with you. And then like I see this kid with a mohawk and I'm like, hey, let's be friends. And
he's like, I'm in a band, and it was Blitz Kid before it was Blitz Kid. The band was called Grape, and that was TB and Stu. And then that's how, you know, Blitz Kid kind of came about. That was the origin story there. But I'd mentioned too, we were called Sad Sack. So before Blitz Kid was Blitz Kid, it had went from Grape, like the flavor, to A-OK, to Sad Sack. Those two were at the same time. They were on the seesaw. And then it moved to Blitz Kid. And I joined once it was Blitz Kid, because it was still just a project at the point that it was A-OK and Sad Sack. At what point did I learn to sit on my mic stand like a gargoyle? At the point that I realized I had some stunt bike pegs laying around in my basement, and I didn't have a bike anymore, so why not put them on my mic stand and see what happens? In Votive Light, I could do that. Yeah, man, we're coming, brother. We'll be out there. These names. Yeah, see, look, I mean, we got all kinds of, like, we're all like one tribe here, man. Like Argyle, Goolsby, we got Rope of Grim, Creatures of the Night, Sally Skellington, 5 Cellar Below. That's my fault, sorry. Charleston, dude, right on. I used to live in Chucktown. I miss Charleston. I used to live upstairs in the empty glass, in the very upstairs. If you heard anybody singing out of key to Tears for Fears, that was me. That was one of my vocal exercises, was Tears for Fears. Yeah. You try to sing like Roland Orzabal. Let's see who's laughing. The Puppet movie. Okay, let me drop that in real quick before we bring Gozer on. I'm coming. I told you 15 minutes. If you guys missed it, I was on Mr. Michael Graves' Facebook live stream the other night, and I've been commissioned to be on a thing that he's doing, a puppet show, a punk rock little puppet show where I die, okay, and on a tour bus, knock on wood, and I get transported to the afterlife where it's inhabited by puppets, and then I'm more or less like Idiocracy, where you're the smartest guy in the world, but I'm the only human, so I'm revered, and it's trippy as hell, and I can't wait to do it. So I don't know the name of it yet. It's going to be fun though. So Empty Glass, cool place, absolutely, yes. It's the only place where you could get cut by touching anything, wall, floor, didn't matter. All right, you guys, listen. I'm going to play one more song for you before I bring Gozer on here. All right. And I want to play this because I've had this song stuck in my head for a couple of days now. And it's one of my favorite bands, and I've talked about them. And some people are going to be like, it's the Doors. And you're going to be like, oh, the Doors are hippie music. And I'm going to argue with you that they're not. Outside of, we were talking about love songs a few weeks ago, one of the favorite, some of the best love songs. I think this is one of the best love songs ever written. And my cat agrees. All right. Can you guys hear everything okay? Is that too loud? Blah, 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 blah. Can you hear me singing badly over this A chord? All right, bear with me, because Robbie Krieger is a motherfucker. All right. Before you slip into unconsciousness, I'd like to have another kiss, another flashing chance at bliss, another kiss, another kiss. Days are bright and filled with pain. Enclose me in your gentle rain. The time you ran was too insane. We'll meet again. We'll meet again. That's right, Crystal Ship. I knew you'd know that. Tell me where your freedom lies.
streets are fields that never die. Deliver me from reasons why you'd rather cry. I'd rather fly. The crystal ship is being filled, 1,000 girls, 1,000 thrills, a million ways to spend your time. When we get back, I'll drop a line.
And Tiger finished it. All right. Sorry I fucked that up, but Robbie Krieger, hats off to you, my man. Hijinks with the win, Mr. Sebastian. Right on, guys. Okay, well, that was my foray into the Doors. Love that band. That was the Crystal Ship off the self-titled album. Damn, that's all I can say. It's just, I don't mean to be that guy who are like, they don't make bands like that anymore, but all right. Well, listen, it is now a little after 5 o'clock. It is 22 after the 5, as a matter of fact, and I know Andres is waiting for me. I just wanted to give him a little bit of time to get his PJs on, because it's late over there. And we're going to tell you bedtime stories in Gozer's PJs. If you don't know, okay, full disclosure and disclaimer, I'm going to call him Gozer because that's a personal nickname I give him or use for him. I'm going to call him Andreas because that's his Christian name. And then I'm going to call him the JACKAL because that's what he is on guitar, and we'll talk about that. So, we're going to bring him on here. Let me touch the faces over here. Let's find him. There he is. All right, here he comes from the Crimson Ghosts, all the way from Deutschland. Roper Grimm, go listen to the Doors when we get off here. Seriously, turn the lights out. Listen to the Doors. It's the perfect time of year for you. I hear you. I heard somebody. There is no Dana, only Zul. All right, let's try this again. See, we're trying to connect all the way from across. Hang on. You guys, hang on one second. You know, this is what we do every week, right? I wish there was like a Fonzie app, man, where you just be like, bah, Instagram would just make it cooler. Like, boom. I can't snap my fingers, you guys. Did you know that? I'm not kidding you. I cannot snap my fingers. I have never in my life been able to do it. And the reason why is because my thumbs do this. You guys see that? Look how gross that is. That's right. So when I try to snap, hold on, my hands just collapse. I can't do it. And my fingers do this too. You see that? Look at that weirdness. But yeah, hitchhiker, baby. That's how I hitchhike, like that. Who else has got one of these? Yeah. Got some of these gross deals right here too. So Yoda Rayanne 217 says she has one of these. You know what this is? This means that you have Melungeon blood in you. Are you by chance from the Appalachian region? You guys go Wikipedia, Melungeon, Melungon, Melungeon. I myself personally, not just because of this. I'm not just saying, oh, look, I'm a Melungeon. But I do have Melungeon blood. We'll talk about that some other time if you're interested. Hold on. Come back, Gozer. Appalachian. I don't know where he is. Here, I'm trying. I hear you. Can you
Well, I
see
see
me?
you. I see you and I hear you and I see you as well. Oh, now you're even on the right side.
I don't see you, brother.
Me neither. I don't know what the problem is.
You're like a genie. You're like a genie. We're gonna have to rub the lamp.
Well, I'm in my PJ, so better don't rub the lamp.
Oh, you dirty dog. Can
Yeah.
you guys see Gozer? Why can't I see you?
I just see a black screen where I should
See, man, this is life. That's a question. Why can't I see you? I want to see you more than I usually see you. And now I get to see you and I can't see you. No, I re-rotated my iPad. I re-rotated my iPad. So, do we have any Instagram technical wizards out there? Can someone please tell us what to do? What do I have to hit my iPad with? Will this work? What about this book? Will this work? What about my Flatwoods Monster Cup? Will that work? Could be the phone doesn't have access to the phone. Could be that the phone or anything doesn't have access to the phone. Brazil, what's up? Hey, Gozer, Punk Rock Princess says leave and come back. Davey, in the meantime, he's cryogenically frozen on episode 1 or 2 on YouTube. So go check that out. I'm trying, man. I don't know what's going on here. Oh my goodness. This is just like our tour that was supposed to happen. Hey, everybody, Crimson Ghosts are going to be here. And now they're not. Keep playing with my heart, man. Like that Elton John RuPaul song. Don't go breaking my heart. Don't go breaking my heart.
So I'm back again, but still don't see me.
It's okay. We'll just treat you like the Wizard of Oz. You'll just be the voice of God.
Well, thank you for that.
Can everybody hear Gozer? I mean, God damn it, the Jackal. Can everyone hear Jackal out there? Okay. Yes. Here we are. Well, you know what? You're the ghosts. You're the Crimson Ghosts, so you're invisible. I guess it's just the way it has to be.
I think I will try something else. I will just log out from my cell phone and.
All right. Well, let's see what I can do in the meantime. Navajo Nation. Yeah, man. Always love playing the Navajo, the Res, man. Hefe. Hefi. That, just for all you guys out there, Blitz Kid, we've been very fortunate to be invited onto the Navajo Nation many, many times to play shows. And I got to say, man, you guys are awesome. Some of the best shows we've ever played. Rowdy, good times, awesome. So thank you, Navajo Nation. Hey, AG Lopez says your phone probably isn't set to allow Instagram to use your camera. Never going to get him. He's the Crimson Ghosts. I know Coffin Joe died, my man. It sucks. We're going to talk about him later. So anyway, while we're waiting on Gozer, I hope we get back to Germany. I mean, all roads lead back to Germany. We just always end up back there. So Melungeon stuff. All right, Cat MD03. Did you know about the Melungeon before the Wikipedia shout out or after? I know Amber might know because she's from West Virginia, but see, I'm from a part of technically Virginia, southwestern Virginia, the Virginia Highlands. My town is bordered by West Virginia. I grew up in West Virginia. But in that little trifecta, you have Kentucky. Eastern Kentucky is very, very, very rich in Appalachian culture in terms of, bluegrass, number one. The bluegrass of Kentucky, that's where that comes from. Bluefield, where I'm from. But Melungeons, just to give you guys a crash course while we're waiting on Gozer. It's kind of, and I know it sounds like romantic, like I'm going to say it to you guys, like, oh, guess what? I'm Melungeon. But I've got the 23andMe to prove it. No, it's more or less like an undisclosed blood type of people, which is a cross between African, Native American, and what some believe to be Portuguese. So, here we go. Gozer's coming in. Let's see if it happens, you guys. Hold my breath. Oh, there he is.
There we are. Oh man.
And the crowd goes wild.
Yay. So, what were you guys talking about?
We're just talking about Melungeons. You're like,
And what was Tiger talking about?
she's talking about it's time to eat some food, and she wants me to shut my mouth.
Oh, so usual cat talk.
That's her. Yes, if she were a parrot, that would be what she would say all the time.
Yeah, that's what they do.
It's very nice to see you, my friend.
Yeah, I'm happy that I can see myself too. No, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
You were supposed to be here at my house in like a week and a half.
Yeah, thanks for putting some salt in the wound.
I know. That's what I'm good for, buddy.
It wasn't meant to be. Maybe next year.
No, it's meant to be. It's just meant to be more power than we were ready to administer right now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Eric Blair says, I don't want to be in a Melungeon dungeon. Oh, I love you, Eric. So, let's just be guitar nerds and talk about our guitars on our wall right now.
The guitar's on the wall. Okay.
I see your Monson guitars back there.
Yeah, both of them.
And I see your picture of me over on the wall. Like, go over. Yep.
Yeah.
There I am.
Old picture of yours.
That's me hanging out we're having a barbecue at Gozer's house, and I showed up kind of late, and I was really upset that there were no schnitzels left.
Yeah.
Look at me. Check out. Have you seen this yet? That's my
what's this?
That's the Grimhawken. That's my signature guitar.
You got a signature guitar. Wow.
I do. It was by accident, but it's a long story. And I got that guitar from Doyle when I joined Gorgeous Frankenstein. That was a Christmas gift. And then
What
I got
is it?
it's a Roadster. It's like a little mini guitar. You can just take it and just annoy the shit out of people in the subway.
Okay.
And this way, hold on, I can't get my finger. Oh, it's opposite. Yeah, there we go. And that is the Excalibur of Appalachia, the banjo, which needs a little bit of work right now.
Okay.
So,
Well, I got the Monson guitars there. I got one experimental guitar with the new Evertune system, which you definitely should check out. It's cool.
you had that whenever we went on tour. When we went to Russia, you had that set up. That was on. You just got that, and it was like it blew my mind.
Yeah, it's still absolutely great. I don't like the guitar itself because the neck is very thick. It's very heavy and it's not so well playable. But
Yeah.
the Evertune system for just hanging it here, and when I got some ideas, I don't have to tune. I can just plug it in and then I record, and I keep it in mind for later then.
Beautiful. So AJ Lopez says he's loved the Crimson Ghost for years, but he's not familiar with the band members, and he wants to know if you were one of the singers, and you are.
Yeah, I am. I actually write most music and the vocal lines and the lyrics and all that, and of course I do some backing vocals for the recordings, and live I do pretty much singing there. Yeah.
And I'm just going to throw this out here right now. I mean, people can hear you guys on your albums, so there's no denying that you guys are great singers. But live, you guys are beasts, man. You and Marco together are like a chorus of death angels. Like it's amazing. I love your guys' voice. Like, and I kind of want to jump into that and give everyone. I think everyone is probably familiar with you and your work and your band. But for anyone that's not familiar, let's just jump back for a minute and give everybody a little bit of a boilerplate Crimson Ghost history lesson. You guys had a really unique backstory, really, because you were already a band for like 10 years before you were the Crimson Ghost.
Yeah.
You guys
in different constellations and different bands, or several bands actually,
but
even at the same time.
but together. That's the thing, is like
Yeah.
all of you guys that are the Crimson Ghosts had been working together musically. And what I find interesting about you guys is that the music that you were doing before horror punk was, you guys were just playing full on death metal, right? Like,
Death metal and black metal, yeah, all that.
and which is interesting because a lot of bands go from you know, punk rock to metal. Like, think of Slayer, you know what I mean? Like, these bands, thrash to metal, it's a progression. Not a lot of bands go from like black metal, death metal to punk. And you know, that's one thing about you guys that I feel like sets you apart so much, is the fact that it's vicious, man. Like, you guys, your guitar, when I saw you live the first time, we'll get into that. It's just you're vicious live, man. You're like you could play, like I could play a G chord, but like you guys just eviscerate a G chord. You know what I mean? So,
well, we got to get the best out of it. Well, so we tried to do it.
yeah, man.
But the thing with metal and punk and all that is, although we were playing in black metal and death metal bands, we of course had some more background before that. Not in a band, but of course we listened to a lot of records, and there were different styles like hardcore bands and punk bands and whatnot. So actually, it was not a big miracle to mix all this together and have the sound that we have now. But yeah, the change was pretty drastic from going to horror punk when we were doing our grindcore death metal thing on the other side. But it was fun.
So, and that's, you bring up a really good point about when you change to horror punk. I think what a lot of people don't realize, and I didn't know this until, you know, we got to know each other and we would talk about these things, is the whole name, Crimson Ghosts. It's not that you guys just learned how to play guitar and then we're like, let's play in a horror punk band and call it the Crimson Ghosts. You guys were doing exclusive, like, Misfits cover shows every year, calling yourselves the Crimson Ghosts, right?
That's true, yeah.
And
That's
then,
actually, this was the main idea. We just wanted to do something special for the next Halloween. There was a Halloween when we had a party, but it wasn't a really big party, and we didn't know what to do next year, and we wanted to do something. And now we go really deep into the history of the Crimson Ghost. And one evening, Mark and me, our bass player, we sat together and had a lot of beer, and we were watching the TV shows Jackass. And in one of the episodes of Jackass, Chris Pontius was running through London, I think it was. And in the background music, it was
Hybrid Moments.
Hybrid Moments from the Misfits. And Mark and me, both completely wasted, looked at each other and were like, we should do a cover band next year. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. And
Thank you,
that's how it
Jackass.
all started.
It's all because of Jackass.
It is pretty much all because of Jackass, yeah.
And beer.
And beer, yeah.
I'm assuming
Maybe.
Kolsch.
Well, maybe there was even a doner kebab involved, but I'm not sure.
You're talking about rubbing salt in people's wounds. I haven't had one of those in like 3 years, buddy. So,
Well, that's not. I would give you one. I bring you one when I come over, okay?
for everyone out there who's not had the joys of visiting Germany, there is a food choice that is available to people, a little version of street food called a doner kebab, which is more or less just like what? Like a hero, like a gyro, like a falafel. And, you know, when I came over there for the first time, I had currywurst and I had a doner kebab. And it was like someone just sat down, you know, like a 5-star dinner in front of me. And like, you guys were just like, why you want a doner kebab, man? This is like drunk food at 4 a.m. But like me, I'm like, no, I want a doner kebab. So everyone always makes fun of me because like, I'm the guy who's like, oh, doner kebab stand. And it's just like, yeah, okay, that's great, little guy with your doner kebabs. So anyway.
I actually love doner kebab. I just had one 2 days ago. So
you guys have Marco, your singer, for everyone out there, Vlad. He took me to one of the best doner kebab places I've ever been to on the other side of the Rhine, over by the Tanzenbrunnen, in that little town, that area.
Yep.
don't know the name of it, but it was awesome.
Mülheim.
Mülheim. Yeah, Mülheim.
Mhm.
That was very good.
Oh yeah, you can get the best ones over there. That's true.
Yeah, no, you don't even have to be drunk to enjoy them. Like, and I kind of feel like I'm
No.
doing doner kebabs a disservice by not being a drinker, because you know me, I don't drink. I have
Yep.
like a sip here and there, but I don't get drunk. And everyone's like, you have to get wasted to fully appreciate the majesty of, you know, the doner kebab. Or as me and TB would call it, because we would always like kind of like act like hillbillies whenever we were in, you know, Germany, and you know this. We would just kind of, that was our MO. Our shtick was to act like idiots. We would call it the fancy rotating meat.
Okay, fancy road. Okay.
Don't you remember when you were on tour with us? We used to get you to say "good goddamn" all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We'd be like, "Gozer, good goddamn," and you would do it. It was awesome.
God damn, and I do whatever the shit out of something.
Get her done, man.
Yeah, man. I try, dude.
We were bastardizing all the culture that Gozer possesses by making him act like he was from where we're from. And that's what a lot of people, you know, I'm jumping ahead here, but for a lot of you guys who are maybe just now familiar with Blitzkid or what we're doing, you actually played guitar with us on a tour.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun, man.
And it was a lot of stress as well. But you remember that show when we played? I think it was in Holland on that boat with that weird band who didn't do shit for us, but they asked us if they could play on our stuff.
That is correct.
The guy with the balls.
Yes. Oh my God, man. Details. For everyone out there, we played in the city of Liège, right? In Holland. And we played on a boat. And when I say a boat, like I'm talking about if you've ever seen Popeye starring Robin Williams, we played on one of those boats. We didn't play on like hey, we're on a boat. Let's go take a cruise around the harbor. We were on portholes next to us when we were playing. They were about head level, and the portholes were so we were underwater. If you cross-sected the windows next to, we were this much underwater playing, and you can just see the water. And people were moshing on the boat, and the boat's literally like we're tossing along the seas while we're playing this show. Yeah, Belgium, thank you very much. Liège.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I was educated in North America. I apologize. I'm just catching up on my geography later in life. So, but that was crazy. I do remember that. That's the night that my favorite story of that, besides playing on the boat, was when we were sitting on the boat earlier that afternoon prior to the show, and they had the little cafe up top. And our tour manager, Dolores, was sitting up there smoking a cigarette, and she was very upset about something, as she so often could be. God love her. And some little lady rode by on a bicycle, and she goes, ring, ring, ring. She goes, bonjour. And Dolores goes, fuck you.
Hey, yep, happened.
And the lady's just like, oh man, you're making me homesick for Germany, dude.
Well, you're always welcome.
Trying, man. I don't think I'm going to get over there anytime soon right now.
Well, doesn't look like that now. Maybe if you just sneak in, pretend to be an instrument or something.
Yeah, I would do that. I'll just hide in the bass drum. I'll fit.
Yeah, something like that.
You know, I want to tell everybody too, I was thinking about this today because, you know, you guys have such a long history as we've talked about, but, you know, we have a pretty long history together as well. I mean, we've known each other for quite some time. My first experience to you guys, my first introduction to the Grimps and Ghosts, and the reason I'm talking about this so much is because you guys are one of my favorite bands. You always have been, and you remain to this day. Like, I'll listen to your guys' albums, and it's just, as I said, I'm just still just like blown away by the dynamism in like what you guys do with like 3 chords. But we were about to leave for tour. We were scheduled for our first tour of Europe in 2004. I was substitute teaching, okay, for the local school district that I lived in, like in Tazewell County. I was substitute teaching, everyone. Yes, that was a thing. And to supplement that income at night, I had a friend who worked at McDonald's, and he was the manager. So he was like, listen, I know it's McDonald's and you're like 28 years old, but if you want to come here and work and save up some money, You're more than welcome to. So TB and I got a job at McDonald's to save up money for our flights for our first trip to Europe. And around that time, just to kind of like, I guess, prepare us for, you know, like the scene that was more or less growing at that time through you and the Spook, Blood-Sucking Zombies. Thorsten had sent me a care package of all the bands, and I remember I was listening to all the bands, and I saw Leaving the Tomb. That was the first CD I had from you guys, and I remember I put it in my CD player on my way to work, and I heard Reborn of Trioxine, and I was like, this is kind of cool, and then it went straight into, you know, the rest of the album. And when I got to work, I went and told my boss, I was like, listen, we got to listen to this CD. So he let us, he pretended that we were like, you guys need to come back here to the office. And then we closed the door and we were like, holy fuck, this is so awesome. We had like a listening party in our McDonald's uniform for the Crimson Ghost Leaving the Tomb album. And, you know, I was ready at that point. I was like, I'm ready to go to Germany and meet all these bands and see all these dudes. And you were the first person that I met from any of our label mate bands out of the, you know, well, besides the other. And you were at our very first show at the Underground.
I remember that. Mm-hmm.
I didn't
It
have
was
a
a
cell
big
phone.
honor. I remember I also gave you our demo CD
First
on that
Killing.
evening. Yeah, the first killing. I just wanted to give you that because I thought, okay, he probably will never heard of us before, so give him something that he can listen to.
Yeah, because I was like, dude, you got to sign this. And you were looking at me like, what? What's wrong with you? I was like, sign it.
Yeah, I remember that pretty well. It was back in the day.
But what was interesting was, you know, there was, at that point in time, everything was internet cafes. And we'd only been there for about 4 days. I had really not even sent a smoke signal home that I was alive,
Mm-hmm.
you know, except through TB. I was like, hey, tell your dad to tell my parents I'm alive. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I remember I had to write an email for TB to somebody who I didn't know and tell him he's okay and everybody's fine and all that stuff.
hey, dear people that I don't know, please be sure that all of your stupid boyfriends and family members are alive. They're in good hands with us.
Exactly. Yeah.
Everyone's talking about Balzac right now. They're asking if we've ever played with Balzac. And the answer is yes. We played with Balzac at WGT, you know, a couple of years ago. So that was cool. My first experience playing with you guys, though, we actually didn't get to play with you guys until the following year when we came back for our first tour for Five Settlers Below in 2005 or 6.
Yep.
And our first show was in a swimming pool. Is that right?
Yeah, we played that swimming pool like 3 months ago. It was the last show that we did for this year, probably. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But it was Rattenloch in Schwerte.
Schwerte, yeah, Rattenloch.
Yeah, this was the first show that we did with you guys. And it was pretty much a big surprise for us as well, because we didn't know what will happen now. And I remember after we went off stage, we went to the backstage room that was really behind the stage.
The pool house.
And we were just relaxing a bit. But Mark said he will go out immediately and wanted to see what you guys do on stage.
Right.
And it was a matter of maybe 5 minutes, 6 minutes when he stormed back into the backstage room. You guys gotta see that. You gotta see that. And what? They're playing. They're acting like complete maniacs. What do you mean? Come take a look. And the first thing I saw of you being live on stage was when you were like standing on 1 foot on your bass amp, like 2 feet high, something like that, and still playing and whirling around the bass and all that. This was my first impression of you playing live. So yeah.
You're like, these guys are idiots.
What the hell is he doing?
That was, dude, it seems to be the running theme. Like when Nim Vint, he's like, the first time I saw you guys were just, you were out of tune and you guys were just like a baseball bat hitting a wall. But it worked for us, man. You know, and that's what I said. You guys, you know, and to kind of give you an idea how we felt when you were playing, we were backstage, you know, getting all gussied up and putting our makeup on. And we heard you guys playing. And I think you guys, one of the first songs you played was When They Howl, I believe it was. Or not When They Howl, but oh fuck, man. I can't remember can't remember what it was right off, but I remember TB and I just looked at each other and we were just like, oh my God. Like these guys are heavy as hell. And like we ran out halfway made up and we were just kind of like hide behind our like, you know what I mean? Like looking at you guys and we were watching you and I gotta be, and I've told you this and I've told Marco this, there's a lot of bands that we played with and we played with a lot of good bands. And I'm not discounting any other band when I say this, but there have been very few bands where when they walk off stage, it's like, holy shit, how are we going to follow that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys were like the Jerry Lee Lewis. It was just like, follow that, killer. And we were like, damn it, we got to be really, really good. But that was
you
great.
were.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. And you guys were as well. I told this story last week about how we were just kind of discussing some of the most crusty punk rock clubs we've ever played. And I talked about the place in Erfurt, I believe it was, when we stayed at the place that had the ladder outside with the water hose. That was the shower.
Yep.
And it was about, I don't know what it is in Celsius, but it was cold as shit in Fahrenheit that night.
I was sleeping in my car that night and I really thought I would die. No shit. It was so fucking cold. But I don't want to sleep on this army beds that they prevented to us because they were so small and I thought, no, I cannot sleep in here. So I decided I will go in my car, so it's closed windows and everything, so it should be warm. No, it wasn't.
You were probably warmer in there though than you were inside amongst everyone else. Do you remember the bathroom? Like the joke, there was no toilet paper except they had one roll of toilet paper that was sandpaper.
Yeah, but well, I guess that would have worked once.
It might work now too, man. There's a toilet paper shortage, so everyone out there, if you're out of toilet paper, sandpaper.
Oh, we coming back to normal here in Germany. I was in the supermarket today and I saw there is toilet paper. It's existing again.
It's like it's still like a unicorn here, man. Everyone's like down to their coffee filters. Like it's like coffee or clean. Coffee or clean.
Well,
Oh
sometimes choices are hard.
That's life. Decision.
Yeah, true.
Are you gonna be caffeinated or are you going to be squeaky clean?
Well, maybe just half of a filter would do it as well.
Oh
Not
man,
think about that.
we're steering down paths now, my friend. Paper gold, says Wicked Wells. That's true.
Yeah.
Clean coffee. There you go. Or you just, after you've made the coffee, reuse, recycle.
Yeah, maybe that's just some kind of peeling as well if you use that used one.
I want to see how long we can keep talking about toilet paper. Let's just keep going. Like, we have the Crimson Ghost coming on tonight. Here we are with all of our guitars and all of our stories, and we're like, toilet paper's a thing right now.
I think at this point we should ask people if they got questions for us, just to come out of that.
And to answer your questions, Gozer has toilet paper, so we can skip that.
Yep, true.
So we can move on. Do we have any questions in the audience out there? Shit happens.
Ta-da.
Any new German films we should be watching? Gozer, you want to take that one?
The problem is I'm not into German films at all because they're just not so well made. The last good movie I know from Germany is Der Todmacher, which is about the serial killer Fritz Hamann, which you probably know.
Yes. Is he
really dark?
Is he the vampire of? They called him the vampire of Magdeburg or something like that.
The vampire of Düsseldorf was another guy. This was Peter Curtin. That was his name.
Okay.
Fritz Hamann was a guy. He worked in the butcher shop, and he was into small boys, and he basically raped them, killed them, packed them up for good and sold the meat. And all
Really?
that
Oh.
stuff.
You guys, man, see, you guys don't have a whole lot of serial killers comparatively to like North America, where we're just insane. But like they count, man. Like for example, like one of the only documented lycanthropy cases in the books really is from Germany, which is not far from where you guys are,
Okay.
down in the Rhineland. You may have heard of it. It's a guy named Peter Stub. Peter Stub, Stubb. He was more or less, and when I say lycanthropy, I don't mean like he was like, I'm changing, like, but he had what I guess was documented as lycanthropy. I don't know what century it was. I want to say it was like the 14th century. I mean, it was wicked early, right? But he had this belt that he would wear of wolfskin, and he would slather himself in this salve of various herbs, which were probably hallucinogenic.
Okay.
And he would just go about on all fours and just maul whatever was in his way, namely children. And then when they finally got him, he was quartered on a wheel, like the Catherine wheel. He was put on the Catherine wheel. He was quartered. And then I think for a long time, they like William Wollaston, where they were like, we're going to put your leg on this part of the town, this part, this part, this part, this part. And I know when we were there in Germany, maybe in 2010, we tried to go to that town. Marco took us, and I don't think they had anything. We didn't see it, but I was going to ask you if you know of it. It was past Linz. It was down past like Siebengeborden and all that stuff. So
Yeah. No, never heard of him. But I will look that up.
yeah, because I know you guys appreciate a good werewolf tale, because you have a lot of really good werewolf songs, I might add.
Well, thank you.
When events of a strange reality collide with illusions of common sense. Sometimes they used to do that absolutely, but life freezes fear turns to horror. When the eyes of the blackest they are fixed on, impelled upon a silver gleam and thereupon.
So sad heart.
And in the coming night, then you know that they are coming. Oh,
Whoa, whoa. Oh.
hear
Hey,
the
Loki.
dark,
What's up, buddy?
hear the voices you hear, the haunting is on, they are singing.
No
way
way out.
I can't do your part. Your part's too high. There is no way out of here. The shoot is a night that has just begun. Love it, man. God, you guys, like a fanboy. Hey,
I just saw this question about the Russian horror punk band Braindead that I produced some years ago. Yeah, of course I remember that. So
because you were not brain dead.
no, I tried to be not.
No, yeah, dude, those guys are great, man.
Yeah.
I ran into Nick. Is it Nick?
Yep.
Okay. When we played Moscow last, I think when we were over there last, you and I and Vin.
Yep.
Because he was the one that saved us when we tried to go to Red Square and we got lost. And he was like, follow me. And then we ended up finding Red Square.
It was a miracle that we all came back to our homes.
Oh my God. Everyone out there, just so you know, like it was straight up like Harold and Kumar's trip to White Castle when we were trying to find Red Square in Russia, Moscow, 1:30 in the morning after we just spent an hour at a karaoke bar. Everyone's like, let's go down to Red Square. We're like, sure. Now, at this point, we had just become like a mass of people because we picked people up at the karaoke bar. And some of the people were saying, let's go this way. And then some people were saying, no, it's this way. And then Nick was like, Vic Ward. He was like, that's this way. So I was like, I'm going with Vic. I don't know where you guys are. All I remember was Adam from Nimvin got pickpocketed that night. And I was like, you went with the wrong people. Someone says, why haven't you come to the U.S. before? That's what I want to know.
Well,